So the meme, they're very good. This is really, they've taken it.
True Alpha.
Named Ryan Stone.
This says, ask Murphy about the article he wrote, cuckolding his wife. Clear up the cuck article. Clear up the cuck article.
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
If I wasn't prepared to literally impoverish his entire bloodline.
I am now concerned for my career.
And I still recommend
Clear up the cuck article.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
You know what? Fuck you for bringing this up. Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
I'm not going to have those guys back on my channel again. Absolutely not.
Just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
It is just...
That's great. That's you should.
Fuck you.
Sorry, apologies.
Just keep going, dude. One foot in front of the other. Before you know it, this will all be in the rearview mirror. Fuck you.
Baby, I love you! Baby!
79T 2458 Learning Corp Little Red Riding Hood, take one.
We're back, fellas. I like it. I can see it in the chat already. Coming in hot. All right, so let's get the super chats out of the way, and then we'll get started. Wando, €2 super chat. My Struggles Canadian Painter episode. Yeah, I knew that was going to sound bad. It's not as bad as you think. I'm not breaking... Here, let me just... Mike's been too close to here, and I'm yelling at you guys in this thing, so let me ASMR the voice, and let's get down to a nice little -15. Not about those kind of struggles. That was not the point of the thing. I'm aware of the misconception. I just want to know I'm a big fan of the state of... No, I'm just kidding. Let's have some fun. And then Saxon Smith with $5 and 1 Australian cent, which I appreciate. Plate 1 of 3, going to Italy for 3 weeks. Got her by B-Day Din and Segs heaps. Ooh. Drop at airport, no loss, just enjoyed the time. Old me, what a simp. Is that frame couch? It's not English, but it's kind of frame. Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's like it's plate theory. Basic plate theory. Plates, if you don't know, that's a reference to, you know how those professional ballerinas and whatever, they have a bunch of sticks and they're plates and they spin them on it? And the idea is that you have, like, you keep multiple ones spinning at once. Sometimes they fall, sometimes they break, sometimes they come back. You get the idea. Ross the Skunk with one $5 heartfelt super chat. Hold on a sec. I still got to make the...
So the meme, they're very...
I still got to make like a quick little like F you or heartfelt. So I'll get there. I'll start getting the soundboard like Rolo does. Anyways, yeah. Good morning couch from Ross the Skunk or Rose the Skunk. I'm not sure which. Thank you very much, sir. And then Alligator Snapping Turtle, $4.99 super chat. Dude, the amount of people who get it with the heartfelt is wonderful. Thanks for the feedback in the Patreon, coach. Honestly, okay. We'll do a little pitch right here. It's not so much feedback, because I think a lot of people get the bad idea about these things. That's what everybody does. They come in and it's like an advice forum. You're basically paying somebody for Ann Landers or Dear Abby. It's not really it. I'm just teaching you guys red pill. Like everything to do with the sidebar and how to implement it. Because I notice that's like the big problem people have, like, you know, me included when I first started out, is that yes, the sidebar stuff is there. A lot of guys who have been through what you've been through came out the other end and found these resources to be what helps. You know, essays, field reports, books, whatever. And the problem is, like, you can sit here and Rolo can tell you about hypergamy for 4 hours on a Sunday. You can watch all of those live streams and you can recite off the back of your hand Briffault's Law and all this stuff. And then you'll get in front of a girl and for some reason there's like a disconnect between knowing the path and walking the path. And then the guy will say, yeah, I was just holding frame by punching the drywall when she got me mad. And I was just like, that's not frame. So that's kind of the thing there, is where you just have to kind of help guys make that connection. So, but I mean, that's a long convoluted way of saying you're welcome. Ryan Stone, you get a free bowl of soup with that haircut? Dude, we're going into white boy summer. Having said that, the bangs could use a little bit of thing. Yeah, we're going white boy summer. I'm going full, like, Arnie buzzcut 80s. Gee, Ryan, what are we going to do tonight? We're going to do nothing tonight. And then I saw Green Light, Bump and Pay. Didn't even ask for it. Dude, it's like everybody who, like, takes the red pill, I've found, always ends up making at least 20% more than when they did before. And it's not because of some magical red pill powers. It's just from the lack of assertiveness and the lack of game and the lack of abundance, like all those little skills, you learn those ones, you realize that most guys are just financially leaving money on the table. Saxon Smith, she's off being 304. I don't give a fuck. Thank you so much for making me Giga Chat. Oh, okay. I get it now. Yes, yeah. Plates come, plates go. Shit happens. I gotta do my little timing things here. Then Lord Venom, $4.99 super chat. Thanks for everything. Number 1 couch. I am officially Leon's hold the payment of influencers. Fuck me. I don't know why I signed up for that stupid couch comment, but I guess, don't ever tell the internet you don't like something. Okay, so, what's this topic about? What's he talking about here? I'm gonna make another timestamp on this one. 6 minutes. What the hell's he talking about on this one? Well, it turns out Dr. Babe Dude Love is back. You're like, what the hell is this? For some of you who have been here a while, you might know. But for those of you who are new, like the last year, last maybe 2 years, you have no idea who I'm talking about. And that's awesome because this is like a constant thing. So Dr. Babe Dude Love was a chick from the Cayman Islands. She was in the Olympics for, I don't know, one of them sports where you throw things, javelin or something, triathlon. I don't know. Maybe she was skiing and shooting. I don't really care. And she decided to become a dating coach. And she was the greatest dating coach. And this was right back early when like Rolo had first started and I was just first started. And Hunter Drew was still cool with all of us and talking about red pill stuff. Oh, it was a magical time. Anthony Johnson was like, yes, red pill is great. And so is Trump. And you're like, oh boy. And like, she just batshit, absolutely batshit. Like typical, girl was here trying to be a relationship coach, but you can tell it's because she wanted to have a boyfriend. Anywho, she came in here trying to pick me girl, the red pill guys, and naturally we don't put up with that stuff, so we just poke fun and rib into her. And I guess she released this video, and this is my one internet regret. My one internet regret is I did not save this, because we would have had the most amazing Red Morning ad. Like, you think the Jack Murphy one is good, you think the Andrew Tate one is good. You might even think Tekken for Pennies is good, the Who's the Funniest Member of Rule Zero, the Paranoia. I don't know which one of these is your favorite, but this one would have topped them all. She was sitting in her car, some Toyota Corolla, crying about being 40 years old and couldn't land a man. She had all the choice in the world when she was in her 20s as an Olympiad, thin and hot and that. Now she's old and withered and nobody wants her. And I was just like, why would you post this? You're parading yourself around as some relationship guru and then like crying in your car about not having a man. So she naturally doesn't like this stuff and she just blocked all of us. And then out of the blue, she's back. And I'm like, what the heck? I haven't seen this chick for 2 years. She went through some IVF, she got a baby, and now she's trying to rub it in all the red pill guys' faces as like new villains. And I'm like, hey, good for her. Slipped like right at the end. You know that one you throw the 3-pointer from half court, and then the buzzer goes off, and you just wait, and just like it bounces off the rim 7 or 8 times, rolls a bit, tension builds, and just nailed the landing. So the lesson there is they're always going to nail the landing. And then this eventually, through 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, got me to the point that like this is all just drama. This is goofy bullshit branding. And it's not very helpful. And a wise man, who is my editor, told me once, he enjoys these shows, which, one of us does anyway. He enjoys these shows because they're not, like, you don't require the drama. I don't have to sit here and laugh at, oh, this guy, Alpha Male, went to jail today. I do, but I don't need it. You could still be entertaining without it. And then I thought, what would be, like, if I was doing red meat, I would have a Dr. Babe Dude or Dr. Dude Babe Love. I can't remember which one the Babe and the Dude is. Sounds like a wrestling character. Sounds like Mick Foley's character. Anyways, I could do a 2-hour episode on Whammon Ain't Shit, or how they'll always nail the landing like Riley Reid or something like that. And I'm like, nah, I think we can do better than that. And so I'm going to share some sailor stories. Because I don't think enough guys know. I mean, everybody knows, but we're kind of atomized. Girls, they have no fucking clue. They sit here and they're like there is another rash of chicks on there who are bitching about, yeah, my son just started looking at red pill stuff. Why can't he be a good little boy? He's like, how old is he? He's 24, living at home. well, where's his dad? Oh, he's an asshole. I'm like, all right, well, you fucked up your kid, and now your kid's going to come find us. It's not my fault. It's literally the last place before he starts going to Columbine High School, if you catch my drift. So, sucks to be him. Anywho. Mando, I see you here in a sec. I'm just getting a second here. Yeah, Riley Reid. I have no idea who that is. I'm sure you don't. Oh, I've never heard of her before. Right. Your wife's in the room next to you, huh? I don't know what a Riley Reid is. Really? She pops up on your search history. I don't know. Yeah, because it was got me thinking, and I hate these self posts, because it sounds like it's almost like a Batman origin story, but I thought in it'd be kind of good, because there is a lot of younger guys who's sitting here insecure about where their life is going and shit, and it's like, relax, man, everybody goes through it. So, and then for the older guys, they're gonna see, oh yeah, I remember when something like that happened to me too. So we're gonna have a fun little 2 hours together. I'm gonna swap some stories. So Lando, $4.99 super chat. Your Jack Murphy ad is top tier, sir. So many layers to it. Holding back the biggest penny to save your hide. Heartfelt. You know what? It's shit like this is why I keep coming back. I never thought I'd be here this long. But Mando, cheers to you, sir. All right. I'm going to do a reset, and we'll get back into it. What are we going to go with here? Let's go with Stedman.
I don't know. But I only know what my heart feels. And my heart still feels like the best, the best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. The best was definitely not to come. So I guess if I had to start this one, and I'm kind of thinking of this as like if I'm having a conversation with some guy who's like, broke up with his girlfriend, being sad there. I see these guys talking about, I want dad to save the West and all this parental influence. I've never really been able to associate with that stuff. The strong father figure, the traditional conservative. It's because like I never grew up with any of it. Like the white identity guys. Obviously, look at me. I look like the Rock, like a shrunken down version of the Rock. I'm kind of like a generic minority, right? I mean, check my DNA. It's, oh crap, I spilled coffee on myself like an idiot. Oh well, it's just chinos. Anyways, 80% like British, English, and Irish, and the rest of me is, I guess there's 20% West African. So when people start talking about, white guys this, white guys that, I associate, but I don't really. Like I even remember once in my grade 2, Mrs. Bluen, I think she's dead now, suck her. She used to sit me at the table with all the East Indian guys, and I used to get so mad, but I didn't know why. And it's the same thing too, like growing up, like, oh yeah, dad parent put pressure on me to perform, and it's like, I didn't even know what that is. It was basically a feral child, like come home on your own, leave on your own, wander around the woods, do whatever. I don't know what parenting was. Dinner was always like ready, and you had to rush to the dinner table and eat quickly, and then get out of there before the family came by and you had to react. Like the only real family time we had was watching wrestling. So the point of this isn't like some, sad thing. It's just that, when everybody talks about this, how to be a great parent thing, I'm just like, doesn't even register. And all these people have chips on their shoulder that what they were owed, that their dad never gave or their mom never did, and all this shit. And it's weird because like, it'd be me sitting here just like, I wish we had tulips in the garden. I'm like, what's a garden? Like, what are you even bitching about? So I don't think it's necessary. Like I'm obviously, and I know I'm not the only one. Most Gen X guys are latchkey kids too. Like I'm a millennial, but I mean older millennial. Nonstop Dre, $2. Coach, internet dad that we need but don't deserve. Oh, you don't deserve it. You definitely don't deserve the shit I'm giving you. I don't deserve this shit. Kareem C with 99.9 tries. I don't even know what a try is. Nice haircut, Ryan. Love the third book. All the best. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Can't wait to see what you're going to think about books 4 and 5, and then possibly 6. I have a new roadmap. Dre again, $2. No man is alpha enough to raise couch. Thank you, sir. All right, I'm going to get back to the topic here. And then what happens? So you grow up and you have to move out of the house. That was the only real ambition I had, was to get the fuck out of the house. I think I went to university at 17. That's what you do. You go to university and like, what do you study? And with no parent pushing you for anything. I just like, what do I like? Well, I liked art and I liked computers. So I went into graphic design and did that. And I remember they were telling us on like the internet was still new, and millennials are going to have 6 careers by the time they retire, as opposed to boomers who had 1, and Gen X who also had 1 or 2 or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. So as a graphic designer, I went and I moved to Alberta. I was doing it there. Got myself a girlfriend. Very late bloomer. It was like my first, like, solid girlfriend anyway. Like, sex girlfriend. Otherwise, it was just, teenage crap. Oh, so many one behind clubs. Like, where it's like, oh man, I turned down so much that I didn't even realize it. Well, I guess I had some flings in between. Anyways, the point is, it's like the numbers in retrospect are abysmal, but if you look at the statistics now about lifelong partners for guys, it was about on par. So had I just like let things be, I would have probably ended up just like the average guy. The average was 7 over a lifetime kind of thing, whatever. Ross the Skunk, $10 2 heartfelt super chats. I was War Sea Live when the heartfelt went down, felt like WWE back in the locker room. Oh, that's funny. That would actually be funny to be on that one live. I would imagine it would be. All right, I think we're good with the coffee now. Smell it everywhere. Yeah, so I was doing that for a bit and had my own place, girlfriend, everything was going good. Twin Towers fell. Oh my God. And I noticed I was just like every other guy. I was very this kind of sucks. Yeah, the pay kind of sucks. The people are okay. The girlfriend and all this stuff, like nothing was really hitting right. So I decided to pack it all in. I think I had I started my own, like, I guess it's a freelancer. Did it for a couple of years. It was great. And I knew that I've worked hard, I could have built a decent career out of it, but God, imagine if I just stuck with graphic design. Anyways, I went back to my college town, roomed with a couple buddies. We got drunk one day. And this is getting to the part of it. Get drunk one day, and I was talking about how my dad used to be a paratrooper. And his dad used to be in the army as well. So we got like drunk and then signed up for the military. And then the next morning, we should have known something was up when the next morning the paperwork's at your door already. We're like, I'm still hungover. I'm like, dude, that was quick. But me, I'm like, fuck it. I knew what I was doing at the time. You'll notice a theme on this. Most of my life decisions are made when drunk. Most of the important ones. And so my buddy chickened out. He's like, I don't want to do this. So I signed up and I joined. And I noticed that was the kind of thing that was missing. And this is where I get it, where all these guys talk about they want purpose, they want autonomy, they want to save the West. There's always these big, and that's like, I understand why Jordan Peterson's message was like, go clean your room before you try to save the world, because everybody hates their life because there's no giant purpose that they feel they need to fulfill. And so they kind of make shit up. And it's, dude, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel, man. We really are. I'm watching right now, there is a TikTok trend. My girl's kind of been seeing it off and on for the last couple weeks now, where they're trying to boycott celebrities. So if there's like a celebrity that has the bad stance on Israel or Troons or whatever, it doesn't even matter. Just pick your cause. And they're like, if 100,000 people boycott it, like it's a fucking Coke can, like Coke. If we boycott them, they will learn their lesson. Like, let's do this with politicians too. And I'm realizing this is where we're at right now, where people are so without purpose that blocking Twitter and TikTok accounts is their way to find purpose in life. And don't tell me that the red pill is some niche internet spurg. Dude, this shit's endemic. Endemic. And of course, Simon Sinek was talking about that too in his little thing where he says, like, of course, you've only been working here for 8 months. How much of a difference do you think you're going to make? And you see a lot of people so desperate to make a difference, they're kind of screwing things up. Anyways, so I was there too. And the idea of Queen and Country, it's like, oh, damn, that's fucking lit. That'd be awesome. And I get into the military, and it was great. Like, we weren't like American ones where it was just like the bunk beds and you're all in a giant room. We actually had rooms, 4 to a room, and then our whole platoon was on the thing, right? So my room had the top student platoon, top student squad, top parade. Like, we were crushing everything. And then I got into my trades training, which is called QL3s, or TQ3s if you're an old guy. top of my class, top student. I actually got a book, which I'm pretty sure I still have somewhere. There it is. It's beside my Pusser's rum. Right there. So that was my gift for being top sailor. Signed by the commander of the base, shit like that. It's pretty nice. My grade 2 or grade 5 teacher, Mr. Galvin, actually sent me something else too. He was really psyched about it because he was actually in the military. But by the way, if you've never had like a military like elementary school teacher, oh my god, it is nice. He runs that thing like drill. It's great. Groundhog Day, $10 1 cent super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Heartfelt FU for Patreon. It's shit like that, man. It's shit like that makes me stop taking this stuff seriously. The painter references are crazy. Yeah, they are. Oh, the I'm smart dynamic. We'll get there too. Anyways, that was the idea. Like, everything I was doing was perfect. I was amazing. I was perfect. I was the best. And granted, it's the Navy, so we're not talking like Naval SEALs here. So let's put it in perspective. But like, pretty goddamn good. I'm the best of pretty good. And of course, that you get that perfectionist attitude on you, right? Where I hear a lot of horror stories. My military guys will always tell you, oh, that's when this thing happened here and this guy fucked me over. And it was always like, this stuff sounds amazingly crazy. It's like, there's something you must have done to deserve this. And so you build this covert contract in your head. And this is where perfectionists kind of come from. That if I never make a mistake, nothing bad can happen to me. Like, that's the only way they can get you is if you make a mistake. So just don't make one. And I was fucking great at it. And then the first lesson about how the world really works, and this is one where like I try to express it when I'm seriously engaging with other people who want to learn some stuff, is that being the best and doing the best job is not the best way to do it. Like, for example, there is the rank structure is ordinary seaman, which is like your basic training, able seaman, which is after you finished your JL4, so you're like on the job training. And then your leading seaman, which is your first, like journeyman. It's a 4.5 year point. You will get your leading seamans regardless. And it comes with like $6,000 a year extra pay. So there's like an incentive to want to do it. Now your command team can increase it by pull it back by 6 months if you're really good and that's what you do. The captain could do another 6. They do it at the recommendation of your team. So you get promoted a year in advance, make an extra $6,000 for that year, plus the fact that, oh, you get treated so much better when you actually have the second chev on your epaulets. You start getting treated like a human being. So I never got advance promoted, even though I was like the best guy in that department. Every piece of the job, every piece of kit, always on time, never drunk, everything, like literally perfect. Who did get advance promoted was my buddy, who was drunk all the time, late a couple times, ended up in the drunk tank in San Diego, but he modded my boss's Xbox and put Xbox Media Center on there. Or my other buddy, a little French guy, he was just, adorable, everybody liked him, and so the chiefs always vouched for him. Girl in our department, they wanted to promote women. That was back when we were like, where like feminism was like getting into its thing. They're like, yeah, we need more women in the war of terror, so she shouldn't have to earn it twice. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Even the guy in the department who got charged with having CP on his computer, even he got promoted. He's like, and he was bitching about it one day. He's like, I got advance promoted 6 days. Like 6 days. That's a kick in the ass. And I was like, dude, not only was I not advance promoted, but they, my boss had no desire to do the paperwork, so it delayed it for like 6 months. So I had to wait like 6 extra months. I mean, you get back paid for it, but the idea of just like, no, he's good. We'll get around to it. Which was annoying because for me, I was like, dude, everything I do is on time. Meanwhile, this shit is late. And then I realized it's kind of where it started to sink in that maybe being perfect isn't so good. I only ever really made one mistake in the military, and that was what the whole espionage thinking charges came from. So anyways, it's not the point of that. And then, of course, I still had because I'm an idiot, I still had in my head that idea of being a perfectionist. Well, I'm really fucking smart. And so I started trying to use that as like a weapon to get my way, to get better duty watches, better this, and it worked a little bit sometimes. But then I remember, and I tell this story all the time, where my one boss, Dale Hannum, he looked at me and he's like, look, I get it. You're fancy. Like, he was just some high school dropout. He didn't really care. And he's like, look, I get it. You're fancy with your degrees and you're very smart, but like, I'm your boss. So get down there and scrub the fucking toilets. I was so mad. And again, that was another great lesson I learned. It's like, yeah, being smart doesn't matter. Your fucking job. And then being the best at your job doesn't matter. Be likable. And I was like, oh. But again, it took me like 5 years to learn this lesson because I'm slow. And then I see all these guys on here arguing, and I'm like, dude, you guys, like, I'll give a little bit of like, hey, relax. Like, this is the kind of thing that's going to happen. And then you get any pushback, you're like, you know what? You got this, man. Go get him. What do we got here? Cappy the Power Walk. How does one be? Oh, $5 heartfelt. Fuck you. Yeah. How does one become a life coach as professional as you? I was told you're the God Emperor of the Red Pill. Thanks for being my dad 2.0 shepherd. Appreciate that. Yeah, thanks, I think. God Emperor of the Red Pill. Jesus Christ, man. Like, I get it's cheeky. I just try to be careful with the cheekiness there, because there's going to be some autist who take it seriously. Like, he calls himself the God Emperor. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was a super chat once. Anyway. And yes, I'll probably bring the cooking videos back, just not soon. Not yet. So out of this whole time, and here's the best part, is that, and this is why you'll never talk to a military guy who speaks well of the military in the last 40, 50 years. I don't think you can. Not many. So that all underlying all of this, and the reason that it's easy to pull through, is that idea of queen and country, that higher purpose. As long as you have some meaning behind what you're doing, you will suffer through all kinds of bullshit. I was not fazed by being denied advanced promotion for being the best of the best. I was not fazed by being passed over because of some feminist propaganda shit. I was not fazed by being belittled in order to do my job. I was not fazed by any of it. At the same time, it's like global war on terror. We are going to stop terrorists before they come to us. We're going to serve my country, serve something higher than me. And I was like, yes. And then all the training was like, and we had horrible 189 days a year. Our ship went. There was ships that deployed that got 187 days of sea time a year. That means 24/7. There's no weekends. There's no after work. You're on a 12-hour watch every day. 5 on, 5 off, 7 on, 7 off. That's your day. 30 straight days. You get 2 days off, and then you're back out there. So we always joked around that we were just doing what we called the Esquimalt 500, where you go to like San Diego, up to the island, and around and around. We did more sea time than deployed ships were. So we were working our asses off. And it was the whole time the chief's there. It's like, look, man, like, I get it. This is training and it sucks right now. But once you're deployed, this shit's going to matter. You got to do it now, because then when you get out there in a deployment, lives are at stake. You'll be ready. And I was ready. And we got out there in that deployment. And that's like, if you really want to learn, experience it yourself. Saxon Smith. I know we're not friends and you do these things for you, but I've gotten a lot out of your stuff. I know you not for meeting people, but I would like to buy you a beer. Thank you so much. You did just buy me a beer, Saxon. Appreciate it. Or at the very least, a coffee frappuccino with a pour-over affogato shot, I believe they call it. So either way, the appreciation is reciprocated fully. Appreciated fully. Oh, yeah, the deployment thing. And we did some cool shit, man. Like, probably one of my favorite things is my captain at the time. So there was this, he did so much sailing around the area. He actually wrote the book on how to navigate the west coast of BC, and he's like teaching in Britain. He was like one of the top navigators of the world. It was actually pretty impressive. At one point, he drove a warship up. There was like a waterfall, a little small waterfall right up against a cliff face. He took a like 100,000-ton warship, or however much it weighs, bumped the end against the rocks. He basically like he parallel parked the thing into a rocky cove, ran down to the forecastle, took a picture in front of the waterfall in front of his buddies, and then left again. And they had to hide the picture because if command had ever seen what he had done with their $100 million warship, he probably would have been fired. But it was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Anywho, and it was like a whole bunch of shit like that. And I took it for granted there. I just thought this is what everybody was like. And then I had other captains, so I'm like, oh, these guys are brutal. And he was in for Queen and Country too, and so was the crew. Like, I remember, dude, so just before we deployed, he left the ship. We had like a little ceremony about it, and he was giving a speech. And in the middle of it, he loved sailing. 30 years he had been doing it. This was his life. Like, he was the guy that wore sailing gear to the ship. So I remember once he was late for work and he came in like all nautical gear and shit and ran up to the bridge. He was there in his civilian clothes. He looked like a sailor. He's like, let's go. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. So he started like tearing up when he was saying how the command had been the best time of his life and this he'd never be able to do it again. Because once you get promoted out of, like, once you do your command tour, that's it. There's not enough ships. There's too many captains. So you get your one kick at the can. And he started to tear up. And it was funny because there was like a complimented crew was like 250 people. And 250 guys cutting onions in the room at the same time. Everybody's trying to pretend not to. It was the weird, like, I wish other people got to experience that. Like, it was a level of pride I don't think I've ever seen before or after. Ever. I wish I could bottle it up and sell it on a course. I think you guys would be great. So we got a new guy after him. And that he let, if I didn't know how good I had it before, I knew how good I had it after. He got some DUIs and he wasn't allowed to drive. And the big joke on the ship was, so he can't drive a car to the ship, but he can take the ship and drive it around the Gulf. Sure enough. Ross the Skunk, $10, 2 heartfelt super chats. I was a perfectionist in high school with 4.0 and then went to college. College was a joke, study for 30 minutes, pass the test kind of thing. Made me realize not everything needs 100%. Oh, yeah, dude. I never studied for anything. I'm with you. And there's, like, I'll get into more stuff on that too, but I guarantee you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, back to the deployment. So this was it, right? I don't know how many years I had been in at this point. I don't know, 6, 7 years, something like that. 5 years. Whatever it is. And I was like, this is it. This is what we play for. In my head, it was like we're running through the banner onto the field at Super Bowl time, and we get out there. And it was boring. At first, the transit was just like they gave us extra work because they wanted to keep us tip-top shape. The idea is you train harder than you actually have to work. And of course, because all those people that got promoted ahead of me weren't very good at their job, here I am. I'm like, oh, it's a good thing I'm here. They put me on the department with all of these retards because like, yeah, we need somebody to hold that place together. I'm like, really? Not enough to promote them? Don't worry about it. I'm like, you fucking assholes. So I got to sit there with my feminist boss who didn't know what she was doing. And she was really good at blaming everybody else when things went wrong. And I made an effort. And even my watch supervisor, same thing. It got to the point that just for funsies, if they gave us, like, they used to say things that made no sense, like, you know, against the SOPs or against policy or just generally a bad idea from the communications. And we used to say, you know, hey, PO or, you know, Master Seaman or whoever, we probably should be doing this instead. And they're like, oh, don't tell me what to do. And then they kind of come around. And then I realized, like, no, I'm just going to follow their orders blindly. And so we did a couple times, and the captain got pissed. He started yelling at us and stuff. And I remember my boss, like my watch soup's boss, my head of department, he knew what we were doing. And he thought it was hilarious. He's like, she needs to get taken down a peg or two. And he goes, okay, I see what you're doing, guys. Cut it out. You're making me look bad. Yes, sir. Or yes, PO. So that part was kind of fun. And then, you know, eventually we kind of got into our thing. And we got into the deployment zone. And I don't know. The global war on terror, I understand. What's that movie? Excuse me. Is it The Hurt Locker? Or what was the one where Jake Gyllenhaal was the guy? That one. Remember that scene where they're about to snipe and they finally get to do their job and they get to snipe that guy and they're like, we're just going to drop an airstrike on it. That was kind of like the experience there. Like they put us around the Horn of Africa and we had to go up and down the coast. We were looking for cocaine. We were looking for heroin. We were looking for terrorists. We were looking for booze smugglers, any of that stuff. Didn't find anybody. Turns out heroin is growing that season. And cyclones are in the air, so there's no dhows in the water. But we kept bringing on camera crews like, hey, here's Canada fighting the war on terror. CBC came on board and CNN came on board, and it's crazy. Like, on our radar, we managed to find a suspect vessel the instant a film crew came on board. And then they'd go on with the boarding party, and they'd go like, basically, you're just fucking with some fisherman by ripping apart his nets, pissing on his deck, and if you happen to have some booze on board, you just break it and throw it overboard. So we're just fucking with people. $60 million trip just to like fuck with some fishermen to look good. And that was when I first started to not trust the news, because I think I've told this story before, so you know I'm repeating myself. I get it. And everybody's just antsy for just something, right? And you hear a mayday going across the circuit, and you're like, oh Jesus, mayday! This is it. Some cruise ship was being boarded by pirates and they needed assistance, and our captain was just so psyched up. He's like, let's go, let's fucking go, give me the, and he's like, yeah, tell them we're on our way. And the XO's like, sir. He's like, shut up, give me the thing. And he responds to the thing, all right, radar, how far away are they? And he's like, they're 300 miles away. Keeping in mind that our ship, if we like crank the engine into the red zone, we can do maybe 30 miles an hour. Do the math. We had to, so we panicked, because as soon as you respond to a mayday, you are obliged by international law to be the first responder. So we are now committed to this thing that is too far away for us to get to. So we had to strip our Sea King helicopter, which is like Korean War technology, down to nothing. It had just enough fuel and like a C7 on board, like an M16 basically. No ammo, no nothing. Just enough to be able to scare off some pirates. And then we had to fly it down there to go, like, get over there. Because it can do like 300 miles an hour or something like that. I don't remember. But we didn't give it enough fuel to go there and back. So we had to race to meet it in the middle. So it goes there and then comes back. And if we don't meet it, it's going in the water and the crew's done. The skeleton crew is done. Oh yeah, it was a frigate. Canada's we have mostly frigates. Well, we used to. Frigates, 2 destroyers, and a tanker. Or 2 tankers. Well, our tanker had like a boarding party on it. So they used to call it the battle tanker. And the other navies they thought it was cute. They're like, that's adorable. You guys are taking a big floating bomb out and using it as a boarding interdiction vessel. It's like, yeah, it's Canada. That's what we do. Its other nickname was the Love Boat for the amount of people that were screwing on it, because there were so many compartments you could hide anything. So where was I going with this one? Oh, yeah. So there was that there. And that's kind of when we really got demoralized, where we're going, like, why the fuck are we here, man? Why are we here? There was another time when, so there was 3 ships going. There was the command vessel, there was us, and there was the tanker. The tanker found some vessel that was in distress. They gave out a pan, which is like, how does that work? There was 3 levels of emergency. Mayday is the worst. Pan is the second worst. And then the first one is, I can't remember. Caution of some sort. Anyways, so they're towing them back into Abu Dhabi because they're like, oh, we can save this vessel. And the command ship, as soon as they got within like 30 miles of the coast, like just about at the horizon level, the command ship ordered them to stop towing operations, and then they did it so they could tow it in, and the commander could get the accolades for saving these other vessels. So it was basically a bunch of captains looking for who could get the coolest story for a promotion and to hang out at their cocktail parties. And I don't know about you, but like, you know what? I think of a lot of things when I think of Queen and Country, and the one thing I do not think of is I can help this guy get promoted by wasting our time and taxpayer dollars to make him look good in front of a camera crew. You know, it's not Queen and Country. And then you see CNN, they did the report on that story I was telling you about before. They made it sound like our helicopter crew had like a knife in their mouth and they were diving into the water and swimming over there and taking out pirates like Jack Bauer. And I was like, the fuck? That's not the deployment I remember. I wish I was on that deployment. That sounded awesome. And then I realized, like, I wonder how much other shit news is making up. That's kind of what got me started. So if you guys ever wonder, it's like, why is he so jaded and cynical and irreverent about everything? It's like, this is why, man. I have been the tip of the spear. And I'm not gonna, like, I know there's guys that have been to Afghanistan in combat roles. Like, Canada even had some ATRs, any trade requireds. A couple buddies of mine who are in the same trade, they volunteered to go down there, and they came back with a little bit of damage. Not physical, but, you know, mental. Mostly because, I guess, when you stress somebody out for that long, and I'm not even talking PTSD, it's just when you stress somebody out that long for that extended period of time, they come back different. It's kind of like you know, there's insulin sensitivity if you guys eat too much shitty food, and then your body doesn't process insulin well, so it makes it hard to regulate your weight. It's kind of like that, but for like your adrenal gland. And so this is where, like, I see a lot of guys talk about, I want purpose and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you're not going to find it in somebody else. Like, I don't think you're going to find it in academia. There's no Einstein. There's no Queen and Country. You're not going to be able to fight terrorists. It's not being a cop. You're not going to save some lady from a domestic abuse. Like, that just doesn't exist, man. It doesn't. It looks great in the movies. Don't get me wrong. You watch Tom Cruise shoot down a bunch of terrorists in his F-14. be my wingman anytime, Goose. Like, oh, it feels good, hits you right in the feels, really appealing to a guy, but it's just like, real life doesn't have it. In real life, you have to make your own purpose. This is, again, I wish I could bottle this up and throw it at you as like a Gumroad course, $59.99. Clean your room, shit like that. But I can't. I don't know how to impart it. So that's kind of the reason here. I hate talking about myself and shit like that because I'm not a fucking narcissist. But I think at this point, I can tie it into something useful that you can take away from it. And if you're an older guy too, same thing. If you're old and you're like, I coulda, I woulda, I shoulda. No, you wouldn't. And I know there's Americans like this because every time I pulled into San Diego, and I learned to start telling people I was an accountant. So because that's always, Americans always do that. What do you do for a living? You guys are obsessed with what people do to earn money. And I would say I'm in the Navy. And then without fail, every civilian in San Diego, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle would tell me some story about how they were going to join the Navy if not for this horrible, debilitating... I had a peanut allergy. I got a hangnail. It's always shit like that. It's like, I don't know why, at the time, I didn't know, like, why do you guys feel the need to tell me that you were going to be in the military just because I told you I was? And then that's when I get it. I get it now, looking back. It's because you guys had that same moment where, like, oh, Queen and Country. I don't know what the American equivalent to Queen and Country is, but... Or the President. Constitution. Maybe. I don't know. But I get that need you have in your soul to, like, be part of something bigger. And I think for a lot of these guys, they're like, yeah, I was going to, but something got in the way, so it's not my fault. And it's kind of one of those men raised to be defective women comments, because it's not for my sake. It's not like, oh, this guy was going to be in the military. Well, that's great. I now we can go have a beer together. It's always just like, okay, cool. Why are you telling me? Yeah, militarism is pretty strong in the US. No, I'm not shitting on rites of passage. I haven't even gotten there. Honestly, dude, the rites of passage thing is weird. People look at Paleolithic cultures, like the way hunters and gatherers used to have this shit, like the Aztecs and that, and they're trying to apply it to modern times. It's like, bro, why don't you just apply dinosaur sociology to human beings? That's how detached it is from reality. But I get it. I get the need for it. But that's kind of one of those things you as a guy you have to realize is that there is no greater purpose other than what you make for it. And I know this is very nihilistic to say, but at the same time, everybody loves to hear that God is dead part of the Nietzsche quote, but nobody follows through on what he says afterwards. So, like, you have to rebuild your own. Make your own purpose. Don't get me wrong. While the hype of satisfaction from the military was far outweighs everything else, the actual satisfaction, the delivery of writing fuck files was far greater than the military actually provided. So that's one of those things. Isn't that funny though? Like the experience of actually joining the military, entering the war on terror, deploying, blah, 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 was less satisfying than telling stories about it and tying it into a novel. It's kind of like the YouTube thing now. And that's like everybody's doing that. Like Out of the Woods, this guy has a sawmill channel on YouTube. He makes more money making videos about running a sawmill than the money he makes running his sawmill. And that's kind of where we're at now, where it's almost like the idea that we should all live vicariously through everybody else's emotional experience is there. And it's true. There was one, what the fuck was it? Last night, I was even noticing. I had it on my notes, but I don't have my notes with me now, so I'm trying to remember it. Is, somebody was doing something fantastic. And then he was making a video on the thing that he was doing. And then somebody else was making merch about that. And then the idea was, it was like the amount of like mining of somebody's personal glory was just like vertical integration. I was impressed. Because there's the guy that did the thing. And then there's the guy who filmed the thing. So that I don't do the thing, but I like watching somebody else fulfill their purpose. And then that guy had his own merch for that. So it's like, I actually don't watch the guy filming the guy do the thing, but I like living vicariously that I could be part of that community that does that sort of thing. It's like there's so many layers of detachment from it. I don't know if there's like a psychological issue with that. Like, is this causing school shooters? I don't fucking know. But it's just fascinating. It's like how the barter system goes to money goes into what's that shit from 2008? Derivatives. This is like the derivative market for personal glory and living vicariously through others. So Dre's asking, what's your purpose drive now, coach? I'm getting to that. Man, this stream is messing with me. Oh, yeah. Makes me more satisfied about having done the war things. At least I didn't become an almost. See, that's the thing, too. Like, do I really want to judge myself based on the guy who didn't join the military because he was scared of failing or worried about getting injured or he'd rather earn more money doing this? Like, I don't know if that's a good way to look at it either. That's the other thing. I don't really like the idea of being put into a box based on the people who you don't aspire to be. And you see it all the time. Like, the political side of America does this all the time, where, like, those damn dirty Democrats will say something. You know, the gas stoves are bad. And then the conservatives are like, fuck you, I'm going to run my gas stove 24/7 just to teach you guys a lesson. It's like, how is that any different than having them tell you to get rid of your gas stove and you follow it like a good little boy? You've just done the exact opposite. So really all he's doing is manipulating you, but it's like reverse psychology. Okay, don't use reverse psychology. Oh, I will. Remember that, Simpsons? In the 90s, there was news about hazing the Canadian military. That would have been awesome, to be honest. Like, I heard about that. We actually tried to, like, haze each other in basic training and on the ships and that. It was like, nobody really knew what they were doing, so we kind of tried to, and it just didn't really work. But that's the thing. We all were expecting this. Like, we all watched Full Metal Jacket before basic training, and we came in there expecting Full Metal Jacket. And then the instructors are like, we're not allowed to yell at you. We're not allowed to call you names. All we can do is deprive you of sleep. That was their only tool in the tool chest. And so, like, that kind of sucks. Like, I thought I was going to get smacked if my boots weren't polished enough, or you throw my mattress out the door or stuff. Like, no. Just correct the behavior. And they couldn't kick you out. I was like, what? You can't fire me? You can't kick me out? You have to make me want to quit? And sleep deprivation is your only tool? Like, I watched people. All you had to do was be too stupid to quit. And you passed. They may make you go through it again, but you passed. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Is that it? Just don't ever give up. Don't give up. Like, fuck, man. Yeah, you'd hear stories. Guys would wake up in the morning and crack a beer in their racks and have a cigarette and go shave with a cigarette hanging out of their mouth and porn going on in the messes. Like, dude, that military sounded awesome. I don't know what the fuck happened to it. Well, I mean, women joined, but whatever. That military sounded great. The one where you're like, dude, these guys are a little too rough, but it'll toughen you up. Yeah, we never got that. In fact, I think the worst we ever got is somebody. So we had one guy in our platoon for basic called Blakata. He was a Jamaican guy. And it was just funny because you know how you take your photo with like your first four letters of your last name and your service number, and that's your photo for your ID. So he was like the one black guy in the platoon, and he had BLAK as his name. It was just funny. So I guess one of the guys in the platoon dropped an N-bomb on him, and the platoon sergeant came in. It's the only time we ever got yelled at. It was about never using the N-word. And most of us were like, what the fuck is this about? Like, we just got chewed out, and we're like, I don't even know what went on. We had to find out through the grapevine how this all had worked out. So, whatever. I didn't see Full Metal Jacket until almost 2 years of active duty. People were shocked I've never seen it. Yeah. I mean, it's like in the Navy, you watch Top Gun. Unless you're an officer, then you watch Master and Commander. But basic training, you have to watch Full Metal Jacket. Because that's how we build our reality, is based on the narratives we know. And what, as a kid, what narratives do you know? Unless your parents were in the military, you know it through movies. Which is funny, because that's when you realize, like, Red Pill, they always talk about the Disney fantasy. Well, we. Remember that? The Disney fantasy? Disney fantasy, blue pill delusions, blah, blah, blah. You guys have read Rational Male, you know what I'm talking about. And then there's always, like, the soccer mom critique of, yeah, right, you guys watch Beauty and the Beast, and then you want to grow a beard? Like, fuck off, lady. The point is, there is some merit to it. Like, I experienced it myself. Oh, the idea. I even have over here, like, my mom actually sent it to me. She's like, I've been holding on to these for like 50 years. I'm like, what? Sent me photos of my dad in his platoon training for paratroopers. So I got these old photos from the 50s. And I was like, that's the coolest shit ever. I actually got a little bit, like, filled up on that. So apparently accounting is boring everywhere else. My boss authorized ass beatings the other day. Fair enough. So the whole thing was kind of weird. Anyways, where am I going with this one? Oh, yeah. The 5 degrees of segregation for personal glory. And that explains to me why you see like the Andrew Tates and the Myrons, like that push it to the limit where they're rented Lamborghinis are driving around. I get why that's popular now. It's because guys don't know what they want. You know, they're aimless, they're listless. They're like, oh, I have a need for adventure. And what's the saying? Born too late to discover the earth and born too soon to travel the stars. And that's where we're at now. Or the Fight Club line about our biggest war is no war. There's no great war, no nothing. And I get it. And it's very... But that's the thing. That's where we are. That's the time and place we were raised in. So you better figure it out and be glad, because if you were born in any time before this, you were probably too busy farming to not starve to think about and navel gaze about some greater purpose. So as far as problems go, this is probably one of the best problems out there. Because like what actually is out there that could cause you to shorten your life? Suicide, obesity, heart attacks. So you're your own worst enemy. And that's it. So you just have to fight yourself. Keep you from giving yourself a heart attack, lung cancer, or a rope. Don't start a shotgun. That's it. Everybody talks about their villain. Is it the women? No. Women kill far less men than men kill men. Men kill themselves. So it's like, yeah. So I guess the other question is, like, is this one of those things you want to be against? Like, do I not like the idea of living vicariously through another guy? I don't like the idea of people, you know, doing drugs, but at the same time, there's people that can do drugs at parties and then they're not addicted to it too, so it's great. But then there's those sycophant types that are just like obsessed. Like there's Andrew Tate fans right now who are like obsessed with having the Andrew Tate lifestyle. They have that mixture of addictive personality and the need for adventure and purpose. And they're the ones that are always online. Like when Rolo talks about getting run up the flagpole, it's usually these fucking guys, you know? And they want purpose this and they want purpose that, and they will come into your live chat and they'll start telling you their personal sob story, and they want you to hand them life on a silver platter, basically to devote your life to giving their life purpose. And it's fucking annoying. I don't want those guys in here. Stripper, $30 1 cent super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Purpose has this weird narcissism to it. I think finding self-fulfillment is a better way to go. That takes knowing what that is and finding out what that is. Oh, I couldn't agree more, and that's kind of where we're going. They can purpose these nuts in their mouth. So it's a personal thing, and this is why, like, I fuck around a lot. I shitpost on Twitter. I send people goatsy. I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, when it comes to Rule Zero, I do treat that with some reverence, you know? Sexual strategy, yeah, the game stuff, how to get laid, how to fuck your wife, how to get plates, absolutely important. The positive male identity stuff never gets enough attention, but that's because, like, it kind of has to come at the end. You have to wade through a bunch of girls over your lifetime. You have to, you know, write a book of the 15 lessons you learned from 15 separate hoes. Well, 14, because one was twice, but you get the point. And at the other end of it, hopefully you find yourself a purpose. So early on, Nonstop Dre asked me what my purpose was, and I like doing things. I like doing new things. That's what my purpose is, and then I like changing it on a whim. Like, I will literally sit here and then one day go, you know what? I should write a book. And then I go write a book. And I should start a YouTube channel. I'll go start a YouTube channel. I should do a podcast. And then I start a podcast. I like the idea of getting drunk, deciding something would be a good idea, and following through. You know, every day is an adventure. Everything is new. And if I don't like it anymore, I'll stop doing it. No harm, no foul. It's almost a Taoist way of looking at things, which I don't want to sound all Eastern religious, but yeah. Purpose is what you make it. What purpose is it today? Oh, it's going to be this. What about your fear of death? It's like fearing the sun rising. Fear it if you want to. It's still coming. Relax. But yeah, I agree. Self-fulfillment. And it's going to change. And I think Rolo puts it best too, where it's like us being unhappy with our situation. It's like human experience. Like we're evolved to never be happy with what we have and always want something more, because that's what inspires us to do more, to get better, and it's like a survival trait. And then you have to realize that now we're in the land of abundance. There's no more to have. I can literally, like, I can call somebody up, tell them to bring me alcohol. They do everything short of pouring it into my mouth for me. And if I go to the bar, there's chicks that do that. So I literally don't even have to, like, I could just sit here and be drunk. And I don't have to move. Doors open, come on in. Pour it into my throat. Bottle girls will do it. Like at that point, how much more do you need? So you have to realize it's one of those vestiges, right? It's something that this is probably one of the gayest episodes I've ever had on this thing. I'd apologize, but fuck it. I made the decision. We're following through. So it's at the point that it's like sugar. We're evolved to love simple carbohydrates, but if we eat too much of it, because nowadays we have it concentrated in sugar packets, we're going to get diabetes, we're going to die. And I think with purpose, it's kind of the same thing there. That need to never be unhappy with our current station in life. So sometimes it's just a matter of training yourself to relax. When you feel the itch and it gets really strong, like you really have that urge for chocolate cake, have at it, do your chocolate cake. Then go on a 6-month cut afterwards because you've had enough cake. Same thing with purpose. X-Runner, $5 2-cent super chat. When I was in the agency, vets would say God and country, and the civilians would say one team, one mission. Ah, okay, that's it. So yeah, God and country, one team, one mission. It's funny, there was a last psychiatrist article on that, how he didn't say one team, one mission, but it was something to that effect. And he was showing how the advertising had changed. And it went from that to army of one. And he was noticing that the messaging from the military went from less team-based, less communal, into more selfish narcissism. Like, hey, what's the military going to do for me was kind of the final message of that. It was always kind of funny. Or army of one. It didn't stick with me. Okay, great idea. Fucking guys. Yeah, so when I see guys talking about their purpose and their rites of passage and all that stuff, I just kind of... And I don't have the inclination to sit here and draft out some kind of manifesto or some stupid shit like some Jordan Peterson-esque. Here's how your purpose goes and codify all of these lessons into something that a guy can learn. I don't have the time for it. I don't want that kind of money as far as a revenue stream. And guys would just use it to live vicariously through my middling experiences anyway. Because that's the other thing. I could talk about all this crazy stuff I've done. And it's absolutely crazy, and most people don't do it. My buddies and I still, every time we get together, reflect on that. It's realize most of the stuff we've done in our life that people will never do. And then I just look to somebody else, and I'm like, dude, I'm never going to be able to do what that guy did. Some, JTF-2 soldier did some crazy shit that I'll never get to, or a clearance diver. Dude, he's doing mine disposals in the water. That's insane. And so everybody's always looking to the next guy going, dude, I wish I had his life, until you get the guy at the very top, and he's like, dude, I wish I could have a nap. So I don't know how to bottle it up. I don't want to bottle it up. I don't know how to bottle it up. And the kind of guys who want it bottled up and handed to them like a pill, I could just keep thinking like Rich Cooper in the back of your head, where people don't want to do the work, they just want a pill handed to them. And I'm just keep thinking back to the guy that made a video on the guy running the sawmill selling merch, so that you could have the merch for the community to live vicariously through the sawmill guy who sells wood to somebody 5 elements down the line. And it's like, how far does this vertical integration have to go until we're basically living like Wall-E with a chip in our head, giving us those feelings, or Brazil, or Repo Man? Yeah. And I'm like, it's way too much work. Just go do some shit and enjoy it. And then when you're done enjoying it, move on to something else. And if you've earned enough where you can take a break, take a break. You fucking earned it. How do I know if I've earned it? Well, if you stop working and you don't starve, you've earned it. I see £5 heartfelt fuck you mate super chat. The women meme, picture of me doing X followed by not shown in picture X reply, has changed Twitter for me forever. Thank you, Couch. Oh, I know. What he's talking about is often on Twitter I would see, the meme from Reddit where it's like how a girl photographs something versus how a guy photographs something. And a guy, it's the picture of the object. And a girl, it's a picture of her face in front of the object. And I was noticing this on Twitter, a lot of times people would post about this, that, or the other thing, and it's just a big picture of their tits in your face, and it's every time they post about this, I'm not shown the thing she's talking about. So it's just funny when you realize it's all performative. Nonstop Dre, $2. Tradcons, how dare men live for themselves and not their family? And that's the thing too, right? If you want to go there, it's not my place to tell you not to. I find it an easily exploitable goal if guys have the I want to live as a servant for somebody else. I want to live vicariously through my wife or my kids, and the idea, not even having a family, the idea of having a family. And I got friends that do this, but they're self-aware. So you can kind of tell where, was it my first buddy? who ended up having kids, he was talking about that. He did like the play dates and the hockey practice. Like he was one of those that always was doing shit with the kids, right? And he goes, I know I'm not doing this for his sake. He doesn't care. Like he has fun and then he stops doing it. I'm doing it because this is the kind of stuff that I want to do as a father. But he's like, but you don't have to do any of this. I'm doing it because I want to. And if I'm done with it, I'll probably stop. And if the kid doesn't like it anymore, I'll probably stop because I don't want to fuck him up. It's like, that's pretty self-aware. Most parents are sitting there, it's like, no, I'm doing this for them. It's like, no, you're doing it for you. And they're like your surrogate. And kids are smart. They pick up on that shit. So if you always see these kids that like rebel against their parents, you know, the chicks that start fucking all the time or sucking dicks, and the guys who decide to dress like anime characters or whatever, it's usually that. Like, dad's been treating me as a prop in his life for long enough. It's time for me to dress as an anime chick on Omegle. Yeah, I was shocked when power dads were telling epic stories of hikes with their kids as if there's some amazing adventure. Exactly, Nuke. Like, I went on a hike with my kids. I had a blast. Nobody has a problem with that. Perfectly acceptable thing to do. Everybody understands it, but they can't do that. It's not just, I'm doing things because I want to do them. I find them fulfilling, and I enjoy the time, and I'm doing it for me. They always have to say, I am saving the West by training this kid to be the hikingest hiker of hiking. It's like they're afraid to express a preference or an enjoyment for something, and it's just brutal. You know, Coach, your stream is amusing, but I don't think about it too much. I did the frame. Oh yeah, it's fine. Do what you do. And these are novel thoughts, and I get it. Like, I know there's this whole rampant narcissism nowadays where everybody is always about me, and this, and I get it. And I know it's related to it. Because everybody's attached to identity. As much as people hate the LGBT thing, or they hate like the Trump MAGA thing, it's all the same manifestation of like narcissism and then the need for a higher purpose. You put those things together, you get a MAGA tard, or you get a rainbow brigade. It's the same thing. And they never have the self-awareness to see it in other people. They see it in everybody else. Just can't see it in yourselves. The red pill dudes, same thing, dude. So many red pill guys are like, red pill this, fuck you feminists. Like, there's a bunch of chicks that I have on my Twitter account, like married chicks like Kenzie and all that shit. Mac, I guess. And they'll say some shit that's funny, and it's anti-red pill stuff, but I'm like, fuck, funny is funny. So I'll retweet it, I'll laugh, and then underneath is a bunch of like, red pill bravado 101 420 69. It's like, yeah, fuck these broads. I'm like, bro, like, I'm clearly laughing and I find this hilarious, and you're sitting here doing team sports. Like, fuck off. And they're the ones. This is the reason I have to keep hearing about these red pill dudes are just a bunch of jerks. It's like, no, we're not. I mean, they are, and I'm not. I mean, I can be. But all you have to do is just not be a douche, and I'll probably treat you with some basic humanity. It's not very... Yeah, they feel the need to belong. And again, that's one of those instincts that we have. Yeah, Tate's the epitome of that. My car's better than yours. That's the other thing too, right? What I'm doing is the perfect thing, and if you're not doing this, you're not great. They'd be like me bragging to Tate, dude, what color's your Hawaiian shirts? Well, fuck off then. Come on. I'm not asking you to dress like a Tommy Bahama outfit, or I'm not trying to have you dress like Adam Sandler on a deserted island filming movies with David Spade. It's my thing. You do what you want. And it's not in the hippie way of like, never judge, man. Like, no, absolutely judge. If your goal in life is to get face piercings and tattoos and get that eye tattoo, I'm like, I'm not hiring you. Fill your boots. Keep that shit off my porch. What color is your smart car? I was actually worried, Alex. He's saying it's the coolest shirt. I was actually worried about this one because when you get stuff that's too much of a zigzaggy pattern, it kind of fucks with your ability to the codec, and so it might fuck up the stream. That's why you never see people wearing like houndstooth on camera. Yeah, if you don't validate yourself the way that I do, you suck. That's the whole thing it boils down to, and this is where, again, positive male identity. There's like a real need for it, and it's the thing that's addressed the least. Because partially it's because it's an emergent strategy. It has to emerge out of all the other work you have to do. Out of the sidebar, you're going to find that. The other part of the way is that people fill it with just the biggest fucking nonsense ever. Dude, eat raw liver. Like, fucking builds a brand around that. I eat raw liver. Like, are you fucking stupid? I mean, he is. So loaded up with Tren, it's probably affecting his brain. Or what's the other one? Yeah, the buying the... You guys, if you aren't trafficking women, you're not a real man. There is a 14-year-old kid out there who's going to laugh at himself in 6 years going, dude, can't believe I actually thought trafficking women was how I could make myself into a real man. And then there's guys that go the other way. It's like, dude, whatever my wife says is right, that's what's right. You got to get into it too. And you're just like, fucking hell. Guys have this extreme need to validate. And I get it. If you get somebody else to validate you, not only do you feel good on it, but it's also their fault when shit goes wrong. That's why everybody loves this idea of like a leader, an aristocrat. Like there's fucking monarchists. Conservatives on Twitter talk about they want to bring back the monarchy and aristocracy. Because then if they're in charge, everything is their fault, but I get to feel like I'm part of the right team. Like, oh, fuck off. Pringles can with veins, $2 super chat. Post-hedonism, pre-clarity is always listless. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? You have to find it. And like, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna jerk off in your living room all life? No. Find some purpose. But this isn't noble enough. Like, who fucking cares? My worldview, F you, pay me, what's in it for me? Well, like, think back from that. It's not about, like, us amassing money. Like, what do you want the money for? That's what I'm getting at here. It's one of those things I wondered. That's the whole reason I'm doing this now, is because when I laid off from my business, I could start another job right after that. It doesn't matter to me. It's just one's as good as the next, and I already had experience and good resume. But like, how much money did I need? I was earning a lot, but I was spending it on stupid shit to help me cope through the weekend to get back to work the next day in that 90-minute commute. So I'm like, why don't I just not buy all that stupid shit and earn less money, and then it works out well? Worked out well, and not only that, again, remember how I told you right at the beginning that red pill guys find out they're leaving a lot of money on the table because of the lack of assertiveness and that? Same thing. I found now from doing this, I'm earning as much as I did back then. But if I was afraid of losing what I had then, I didn't have the abundance, and I didn't know what I wanted, I would have never been here. And that's kind of another thing I wish I could bottle up and tell the guys. Like, don't be afraid to take a calculated risk in your life. Dude, I was a graphic designer that just signed up drunk for the military. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Why not? Let's do it. 13 years of my life, of which most of them were pretty good. Even when I bitch about the lack of, like, the disillusionment with Queen and Country, I still wouldn't trade those years. They're still pretty good. I still got my shadow box. I still got my Pusser's rum. You buy that in your first foreign port, by the way, and then you drink it during your retirement party. So it was like a 13-year-old bottle. And Pusser's rum is not the best rum. It's kind of a shitty rum. But the bottle is amazing. And I think I can't remember if I have the UK one. There's a UK, American, and a Canadian one. It's like Admiral Nelson. I don't remember what the American one or the Canadian one is. Pretty sure I got the Nelson one. Shameless plug time. Yeah, exactly. Strippers got a Substack on this stuff. Monarchy pops up everywhere in modern sci-fi. But it's that. It's the same thing. If the wife is in charge of everything, then when something goes wrong, it's not my fault. And it's like such a weird juxtaposition. Like, I have the need to be part of something. I have the need for adventure and purpose, but I don't want to take responsibility for the potential of that failing. Like, that's half the fun in it. If you don't believe me, have you ever done any combat sports? You know, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, whatever. There is a difference between training and sparring and being at a tournament or being in a fight. Once there's like real stakes, whole thing takes on a wholly different attitude. And the only reason that exists is because there's a risk of failure. And there's nobody to blame but yourself. And that's why that stuff's exhilarating. That's why guys love it. Yeah, I'm a minimalist, but I care about money for peace of mind only. Same thing as me. I like money because I don't want to be told, like, I don't want to be in a position where I have to do what somebody tells me to do. I never want to be taken advantage of like that or taken for granted. So that's the reason I build a war chest. And I know how much money that takes to have that war chest. And I know this is how much I need to earn. So that way nobody gets to tell me what to do if I don't want to do it. And that's partially why I wear these shirts. I think Clary, he summed it up for me great. I had the same feeling, but I never had the words for it. He goes, I wear this because I'm free to. I was like, fucking rights, man. I could sit here and dance like a monkey on YouTube because I can. Alex Patino, $5 1 super chat. We already have the aristocracy. The modern version are technocrats or corporocrats and doing their best to end the middle class neo-feudalism 1. Well, wasn't it? Are you doing the whole Slavoj Zizek thing where, what's he call it? He calls it techno-feudalism. The idea that like every social media platform, Facebook, Twitter, is their own feudal state. They promise you some money, but you have to till the fields. You get to keep 30% of it. It's essentially, yeah, techno-feudalism. Pretty interesting thing to look at, but I mean, it's Slavov, so it's like, something I'll tell you about this. And you're like, oh, fuck. He's hard as hell to listen to, but sometimes it's fun, whatever. Thought about opening up a Substack because I'm way better at writing than speech on the spot. Everybody is, Governor. That's the point about writing. When you speak, it's just off the cuff. But when you write, you have to fully think things through. You can't gloss over details. You have to have a point. And then when you go back to read it again, you'll notice that you're missing gaps of knowledge, or you have like excessive ramblings and stuff like that. Like if I were to have scripted this podcast out, it would sound much different than it does now. The points would be more coherent. They would be more connected. They would draw conclusions from things out of all this, as opposed to now where I'm kind of like, I have my notes. I have my points I want to get over here. But a lot of it is really just like, let's see where this takes you. And then you kind of follow the conversation along to see where it takes you. And you guys will throw a super chat, and it offers that level of randomness that I think people appreciate in podcasts. They have it the other way around. Better speaker than writer. Well, I mean, just say you can't write, dude. So that's the Navy story. Let's chuck some shit at somebody.
Hey, brother, who do you think is the funniest member of Rule Zero Squad? Now? What's your favorite comment joke of theirs? I think Ryan brings good laughs. He does. Ryan is like British humor. It's like Monty Python. And people are like, if you get it, you laugh your ass off. If you don't get it, you're like...
Spot Ryan Stone.
People just don't get his humor. Who's the funniest one on there? You mean besides John Fitch? I think John Fitch is the funniest member of Rule Zero, but he's unintentionally funny. One of the robot dogs.
Seeing this robot dog in real life was pretty surreal and terrifying.
Yeah, Cappy's pretty funny. He can be pretty funny too. Who's the funniest member?
It's the least abrasive of all the ads, but it's still one of the ones I like. I agree, Couch, on the writing part. I started a Word document that was 5 pages and ended up with a 50-page document. Thoughts just kept pouring in. Oh, yeah, dude. It's one thing I like about it, too, because you get those initial, like, stream of consciousness things, but the real skill is to be able to make it concise and stay on point and drive, like, you're trying to walk somebody through your thoughts. That's the purpose of writing. And people need road signs, they need pathways, they need, like, thing. So it's interesting. Ryan, have you watched any Norm Macdonald? Of course I have. He's a Canadian comedian. Everybody knows Norm Macdonald. I think about this ad way more than I should. I do as well. That's my goal, is to be funnier. Anyways, this is the band section here, so we're going through. I realize a lot of you guys are listening to this when you're on your morning commute, or you're at work. It's playing it on in the background, or for some reason, some of you guys can actually work out to this podcast, which, power to you. I don't know how you do it. I have tried putting on podcasts while working out, but it's just like, it annoys me. I need Chemical Brothers or Van Halen or like Beastie Boys. Like, I need something to tell me that I'm a fucking asshole to start lifting weights. So whatever. Just woke up 45 minutes ago, kicked it on 15 minutes after. Oh, look at this. Yeah, so this section's bands, by the way. So I'm kind of seeing what you guys are talking about here, because I always love, the part I love the best about this is there's always 2 conversations. There is this one, and then there is that one. And they're sometimes they're connected, but most of the time they're completely disconnected. So like right now, you guys are talking about the writing stuff, and that's, again, it's something I enjoy. For me, the whole point of writing too was like the military writing it made me completely illiterate. It was impossible to write. Like, I never used the word and, of, the. You just remove those from military writing because you want brevity. Most of the things, you're removing vowels. I probably used a third of the vowels that a normal person would when speaking. Like when you talk about a person, you say member, MBR. There's like a book. There's like a literal book of acronyms. It's like this thick, of just to teach you which acronyms to use. Nobody ever used the real words. Motorhead. Yeah, I know. I have my classics. To be fair, like, I still have my fondest memories of working out was when we were, again, the deployment. We were around Costa Rica, Panama Canal, up to Straits of Gibraltar, through the Suez. Both the canals. And it was 40 degrees. And I'd be sitting there in my workout gear, either skipping rope on the flight deck or wind sprints back and forth on the flight deck or sometimes lifting weights. And it was The Boxer by Chemical Brothers. That one is probably my favorite workout song, followed closely by Sugar, but from Shaka Khan. Yeah. It's just they got the right cadence. They have the right vibe that it just, yeah, that. And then at 40 degrees, you'd think it would be hot, but it was so funny because I was acclimatized and I was sweating constantly. It was actually like, it felt like air conditioning. It was always cool. And I realized the reason it's cool is because I'm sweating buckets. I had to leave and drink like 2 liters of water when I got off of these workouts, but yeah. But I love that. You can't really get that in Toronto. It never gets hot enough here for it. That's why I love this stream. Every week, comments and stream both keep me interested. Oh, I agree, yeah. So I see you guys talking about writing, and that's one thing I enjoy with writing, because like there's a lot of thoughts. And if you watch people that do podcasts only, or they've only ever talked on their videos, they aren't able to enunciate things. They use you knows and ums and ahs. Their points are meandering. They dance around a subject, but they never quite hit it. And then you watch other people, like Jordan Peterson, for example. Obviously writes a lot. He's had research papers, this, that. He wrote in books. And you see when he speaks, even when he rambles, there is a point to the rambling. And he has certain turns of phrase, which everybody kind of pokes fun at, like the way of being. Like, how he kind of has that conversation where he abstracts the stuff. And I get it. That's because that's how he writes. But it's consistent. And if you understand the language, it's very coherent. And it's one of those things I like, that I'm surprised more. Well, I'm not, because it's hard to do. But I'm surprised more of my peers in the podcast space or making YouTube videos don't ever think to write shit down. If I have to watch another red-pilled video where somebody's sitting there just running their fucking mouth about nothing at all, it's just killing me. Even when I crank it up to 2 times the speed, I'm like, 10 minutes just for him to say nothing. What a fucking waste. That's why I cannot watch Monosphere content. Rolos is the only one that I've been able to get through an entire. Well, I guess, Paul and Nuke and you guys, like, I've watched some of your stuff, and I don't ever watch my stuff. But outside of like our little small tight-knit group, I can't. It's not even that it's good or it's not good. I just can't. Yeah. Not just writing, but rewriting too. Oh, yeah, well, most of the writing is rewriting. Like, that's probably one of the things I love the most is... Well, I think I love the least when everybody talks about how they write. And the way I mention it is, like, I'll write a book 3 times before I actually write it. Like, Fuck Files, Frame, Dread, same thing. I wrote the thing. 60,000, 70,000 words are there. And then, like, I have to rewrite it because it makes no sense. I'm like, I don't understand this. And so I write it again. And then I'm like, I get through it and I'm like, oh, you know what would be great is if I did this, this, and this. And then I'll find some outline structure to it. And then I have to write it a 3rd time. So for every book I wrote, I actually wrote 3 different books. And that's before I gave it to Nick to make it legible. So even by the third draft, I'm like, dude, I need somebody else to look at this with fresh eyes because I'm just glazing over. And then he'll do it. And then I read it 5 or 6 times, put some finishing touches on it. And that's why I hate my books. But I have noticed it has made me a more coherent thinker. And when I speak to you guys on these podcasts, it becomes, I like to think. It's definitely got more clarity than before. Like when I first started on here, I'll watch the old, and I've since taken them down, like the old Red Man recaps, which is what this show used to be called back before we started Rule Zero. Because I just didn't trust that Anthony Johnson was going to pay us for our time on there. I'm like, I have a feeling he's just not going to pay anybody, and he didn't. So, like, kudos to me for just assuming that people are going to try and take advantage of even planning around it. I find it most funny when Peterson tries to pronounce Daisian. The fuck is a Daisian? I gotta look this up. Daisian is Heidegger's way of referring to both the human being and the type of the being that humans have. Oh, for fuck's sakes. I don't have the mental capacity to process autism. I give up. I'm probably saying it just as bad as he does, though. Slavo does a great analysis of the fight sequence in They Live. Yeah, maybe. And you know what's funny, too? Because if you watch They Live, I know what he's talking about, that like 20-minute fight that Roddy Piper has in the middle over putting on glasses. I just enjoy it because we were talking to the director about these. He goes, I just thought it'd be fucking cool. That's the only reason he had it in there. It's the same as like RoboCop and Starship Troopers. They always ask, "Oh, what this director was trying to do this, a satire this?" No, he's just a Dutch guy who thinks cool. Like, you know, it'd be cool. A lot of squibs. Let's blow some shit up. Ooh, and then new Mish here. I might be feeling generous and write something, mostly from an HR perspective and how people F up so bad and screw up their careers. I will say that too. Like, it's difficult. It's hard. Because you know how the men's rights guys always have stories of, oh, this guy, the girl made him do this and she ruined him this and divorce rape and all this shit. You're like, oh my God, this sounds horrible. And then you start looking into the stories and you're like, oh my God. Like my Yanis Fiamengo video. She's an Ottawa feminist MRA chick, anyways, gives this story about the third richest man in Canada is getting divorce raped by a girl. He has to pay alimony and he never even married her. And everybody's like, oh my God, that sounds horrible. This is the system. It's out to get you. And then you look into it. First off, you look into Canadian law and we have common law marriage, which is de facto marriage. Because the government realized, like, people aren't getting married anymore. What are we going to do about it? It's just a legal state. So once they live together for 2 years, it used to be 6 months. You lived with a chick for 6 months, they would consider you married. And then the military had to get an exemption for this because, well, that means you could start dating a girl. She moves in, you go deploy, you come home, you're now married and then divorced. There'd be stories of guys coming home to an empty house with shit all over the walls, and they're like, and their deployment bank account is just emptied. They're like, yeah, we can't be having this. So it's 2 years, but. So that's that one there. But the conditions are you have to cohabitate for a period of 2 years, and then you present yourself as married to the community. That's like the 2 criteria. And so what did he do? He bought her a ring. He would refer to her as his wife. Like, very obvious, like within the letter of the law and the spirit of the law of this. And then when they separated, he just tried to like cut ties. He's like, no, legally I'm entitled to this, and you agreed to it when you did this. And so now the story, which sounded like a horrible, divorce rape idea and the system's out to get you, sounded like some rich asshole thought he could have his cake and eat it too, which he can't. And it's the same thing when you see these guys bitching about free speech. They're canceling me. Like, why'd they cancel you? Who's that Disney chick? The one who did In the Mandalorian? Because she was ranting about Jews or something. I don't even remember what. And then Disney's like, hey, we're pretty family friendly. If you want to work for us, there's a clause in your contract about, like, squeaky clean demeanor. Stop ranting about the Jews. And she's like, I do what I want. And they're like, all right, fuck you. You're fired. Now she's like, I can't believe they're canceling us. Free speech. It's like, look, I'm all for free speech. I agree. But, and this is not a capital B but, this is a small b but, if you sign a morality clause in your contract, you should probably adhere to the contract. And if not, they're going to fire you. And it's not like she lost her ability to work or got blacklisted or anything. Daily Wire hired her to play something in some stupid shit anyway. So saying it wrong to only in a different way in German, Dasein is only linked to philosophy. It basically means being here. Oh, like being present? Oh, fair enough. Mr. Chips, you can start with plumpers while learning pickup. Yeah, I mean, it's not about starting with it. It's about abundance. You got to start with the bush league, right? Another actor did the same thing, but they didn't fire him. Oh, double standards, right? Yeah, that's another thing. But that's the thing. They're allowed double standards. Everybody kind of sees that now, too. In fact, that's most of Canadian law is double standards. Everybody wonders, like, why is there so many laws in Canada? And, like, they're not enforcing any of them. It's the same as HR or policy governance. The whole reason these rules exist is so you have tools. If you want to arrest somebody, there is enough laws that you will find something to arrest somebody for. So you don't need to enforce the laws. You just need to selectively enforce it. That's why and this is my favorite one, the Canadian convoy. There is a bunch of people in Coutts, Alberta that got arrested because, terrorism charges or something stupid like that. And they've been in jail for 2 years without even a trial date set. They just basically sit there and rot. Political prisoner, totally, 100%. It's actually pretty tragic. Meanwhile, in the new, now that like the Palestinian protest students are there, everybody's like crying about it because like, oh my God, they got arrested. This is authoritarian. It's like you didn't mind it before. So it's like they're just tools, and then other people are just getting away with everything. Like the new one. Oh, this is the funniest shit ever. And by funny, I mean tragic. Like if you ever wanted to be a renter, So let's say you rent and your landlord is a illegal immigrant. I can't think. They had like a great euphemism for it, which is like immigrant with papers not processed yet or something stupid like that. I don't know, whatever. CRA, our tax, like our version of the IRS, CRA decided that because they're not a citizen, they go after the renter to pay the tax on the property. So they were like, all of a sudden these guys would like rent places. You need to withhold the amount of tax for the place that you're renting, because if the landlord doesn't pay it, because he's not a citizen, we can't go after him, so we're going after you. I was like, holy shit. It seems like a weird thing to do, but that's what they're doing. And that's the thing, it's selective. It appears that I can't help but think of a conspiracy thing. Like people are going out of their way right now to make Canadians as anti-immigration as possible. And it's such like a unified thing. I have to believe that there's some like WEF conspiracy to make us do this. I don't know why. I don't know, whatever. The whole thing is fucking weird. But I don't want to rant about Canadian politics. That's a stupid thing here. So we're going to do another thing, and we're going to switch it to a more funny content.
I've talked to Ryan Stone once. I'm pretty sure the whole conversation I pushed him like pretty hard.
What was hard, Ariel?
The therapist will essentially give them SSRIs, which I think the sexual effects that SSRIs have on the body, right?
Some. There's tons of like MAOs and like tricyclics that you're talking about, like the type of SSRIs that used to be given to pedophiles. We don't give those to men. We don't give those to men. But he's not as informed as like I think he would like to be. Yeah.
Rumor is that chick's gonna divorce her husband, move to Texas. I kind of like vaguely hear about stuff randomly. I think it'd be pretty funny. So I guess the point of all this one is like, don't worry about your purpose. There were some examples from my life that I'm assuming, if you've had any experience in your own life, have probably resonated with you. You have very similar experiences. We're not that different. I don't picture myself as particularly special. And if you're younger than me and you haven't been there yet, then relax, man. Everybody goes through the same shit. Everybody figures it out. And generally speaking, the guys who figure it out kind of come to the similar conclusions as me. They may have a different flavor of it. Like, I'm the kind of father that takes my kid to this because I want to be that kind of dad. Or I like writing books because it's something fun. Or, but everybody comes out the other end being okay. So don't stress out about it too much. And don't be like, oh, if I haven't figured it out by 30, I'll never feel like, relax. There's guys in their 60s that are just figuring it out. We'll see. Eventually I'll be old enough to start giving like the Sonny, this is the thing. But I'm not there yet. I'm almost old enough to be too old for this shit. I'm looking forward to it. Mass immigration is pretty severe here. It's really noticeable outside of Toronto. Oh, dude. TikTok is savage on this one. You got the CRA thing wrong. CRA bucks in many other ways, though. So yeah, screw the CRA. Well, I mean, look it up if you want. I'm not going to give you like a play-by-play. That's not part of my notes. It's just something that seemed applicable. I guess we'll call this section summarize. So don't worry about it too much. And then and this is one of those, like, you must put this bucket on your head right now. I'm sure you guys have heard the red pill thing where you must put this bucket on your head right now. Inside the bucket is happiness and fulfillment and contentment. What's in the bucket? Oh, I can't tell you. You just have to put it on. Then you look at the guy who's holding the bucket. Is that the life I want? Tying it back into the military example, there was guys who had been in the military for 30 years. Now, there was that captain I talked about, the 30-year guy, cried at his thing, absolute amazing navigator. That was one guy. I liked the guy. Actually, I was probably the only ordinary seaman who was having drinks with the captain in his cabin. Like, that's how much we enjoyed each other's company. It was pretty slick. But most guys who had been in that long, you could tell they were like, oh, I got 3 ex-wives and I got to take care of them. Or I can't do anything else. Like, this is all I know. I've been here since I was 17. They were like prick chiefs that have been in for forever. Like, I remember the one chief, Bobby Wiggins, dude. He got caught once when he was the chief at the barracks, fucking one of the students in the bathroom. And the duty watch that caught him, he's like, if you tell anybody about this, I'll fucking kill you. And he got out of that. And he eventually they were like bringing in cocaine from like San Diego or something, I don't know where. And they were selling it. So they had like a little trafficking ring. He sold out all of his buddies, avoided jail time. Now he was a chief. And he was like the biggest prick. And like, it's like those guys that, who's the best at like preaching about alcohol? Is like former alcoholics. He was one of those guys. He's by the book. The biggest hard ass ever. And he was like the biggest piece of shit in the military. It was at the point that he was the least liked person in the military, not even on base. I mean, anybody who had ever heard of this guy. So yeah, those are the guys that are telling you to put that bucket on your head. And I'm here to tell you, it's like, just look at the guy. Does that look like the life you want? It's not even, like, does he look like, or I think Rich Cooper says, would you switch places with a guy? I wouldn't even go that far. I would just look at him and you think to yourself, like, is what he's claiming the bucket has, like, does he have that? Is his claims valid? Did it work for him? Because if I see another divorced guy talking about how great marriage is, or, you know, guy who's not even getting it, saying, oh yeah, this is the way, like, Jesus is the absolute fulfillment of this, that, and the other thing, and I'm traditionally conservative, and her tits are hanging out, you're like, I don't buy it. Anyways, so that's it on this one. Thanks, guys, for sticking around. We got their 90 minutes done. I was actually pretty good about the timing on this one. I think I only had an extra 4 minutes of filler in there. Jack is doing the Rule 0 today. It's going to automatically take you there. It's going to start in about 40 minutes. So if you haven't, go grab your breakfast, go grab some lunch, enjoy time, grab a nooner with the old lady if you have one. If not, go find one. Marriage is not great based on experience. Well, yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of guys that stay in the military because they got a wife and kids in the first 4 years. Oh, yeah, dude, in the military fills your head with that nonsense. Well, now you're in the military. You can't risk. As soon as you don't bring home a paycheck, your family is done for. Which is funny. That's why I always laugh when the trads are like, your wife should never have to work. It's like, dude, do you know how many guys got out of the military because they tried to get screwed, because the military tried to screw them over? It's like, you got to move all your family to Cold Lake, Alberta. Like, no. My wife's a dentist. I'm not going to do that. We're earning way too much money. Do you know the freedom you can get just by having, like, a working wife? The wives get that experience too. Like, my one buddy, the one I was talking about before, his wife was, I can't remember what I don't want to say what her thing is, but anyway, it was a very important type job, right? Very impressive stuff. Multiple six-figure salary kind of stuff. And she would always say it's because, you know, my husband had the most stable military government job that she was able to take more risks with her career, and ultimately it paid off. And then after I got out, he decided I want to get out too. And he could do that because his wife was well established. And it just is way too big of a benefit, I think, for people not to do that. To be like, I want to be the standard traditional house husband. Well, yeah, but that's how you end up as that guy who's stuck in the military for 25 years because if you leave, your stay-at-home wife is whatever, and she has to make new friends every year, so they keep flying you out from Cold Lake, Alberta to Camox, BC, then to, what the fuck is the Wainwright? I can't even remember what the Saskatchewan base is called. Trenton. And then you realize you've lived in 8 different countries, you've made new friends 8 different times, your wife has no purpose in life, so of course she's gonna fuck the neighbor at the PMQs. She's bored and listless and has no job, and you guys are forced to be in that situation because you did not plan to have any sort of abundance when it comes to your economic freedom. But women shouldn't have to work. It's like, fuck it. Works out so much better. It's why the trad thoughts are attracted to hustle culture dudes. They don't want to work. Oh, I agree. I could never understand why the vet said I was the best engineer. When I wanted to leave, the agent said, do you think you can make it? Oh, dude, yeah, they do that too. I even remember in Fleet School, my chief there, and he was a good chief. He owned a watch store in the mall. That was his retirement plan, and he eventually won the lottery or something. So it was like, he didn't even need that anymore. He was great. But he's like, yeah, this is the best job you're ever going to have. It's going to pay the best. Like, it isn't, and it didn't. But, you know, every chief who had been in since they were 17, and I think we had 1 or 2 chiefs who were part of the old guard of like you have 2 choices, sir. You can go to jail or join the military, and they pick the military, and they're still there. And they scare you into thinking like this is the best you're ever going to do. It's never going to get better like that. And even though it's not true, it's kind of one of those put that bucket on your head right now things. Scared a lot of guys out of leaving. Even me. I had to leave twice. The first time I left, I chickened out, pulled my release. And of course, the military loves when you pull your release because, like, now we got them. And it took me another year to build up the, I didn't even want to say courage, just like, I had to be jaded enough to go, you know what, fuck it. I'm not calling out their bluff. I don't think it is that hard. And it wasn't. But it takes some time to get there. Yeah, it's as if couples work better when they both increase their individual options. Oh, dude, and that's the thing. When you both increase your options, it's great because now it's no longer, you no longer feel forced. Because you know how I always say that women hate being told what to do and they hate being told no? Once they have the freedom to ditch you at a moment's notice, there's another thing. There's that pressure, like you're forced to be with this guy because he's the sole income. Even if she's perfectly happy, a lot of girls, they decide that, I don't like that idea of being told what to do. And so they get kind of weird about it too. But now it's the case where she can leave you at a moment's notice, doesn't care. And then every morning you have to wake up and decide, do I still want to be with them? And that's the thing. Once it becomes a choice and it's not forced on you, you start making better decisions. Well, today I'm going to stick with her. I'm also going to go to the gym. As opposed to, she can't go anywhere. I'm just going to get drunk. Fuck that. She's like, I could be with it. I could leave him at a moment's notice. I'm going to not have appies on Friday night in Vegas with my divorced hoe-ass friends. You know? So I would hate for him to think that I'm not in this one to win it. It's just a nice place to be. And again, it's one more thing that I wish I could bottle up and sell on a Gumroad course, but I can't. And even if I did, the kind of guy who would want it doesn't even want to have like a power couple scenario or to have options or to have to actively choose his dating life the way he wants it to be. He wants to, like the Sawmill guy, he wants to buy the merch of the guy filming the experience of the people enjoying their thing. So he can live vicariously through group identity on the thing, and he's like 3 tiers separated from it, which has got to be the saddest thing ever. If you want to know the true Operation Evil, I think that's Operation Evil. And again, maybe I will do that. I should qualify this now. Like, if you're watching this and it's been 3 years, now you see I'm selling merch on the living vicariously through the vlogger shit there. Like, hey, I tried my best, but, bills got to get paid. Yeah, I've told her almost everything, but always with, you can leave if you want. Yeah. Exactly. But men like being plow horses. Men like having purpose, and they think plow horse is how you get there. It's a covert contract. I had hired trying to push me to stay enlisted. They failed. Oh, yeah. Some men like being miserable for a certain time and being happy with uncertainty. That's been a part of my book. An ex-Canadian Forces co-worker, an ex-CAF guy I had once advised me not to tell other people in the office that I had other options because their jealousy over my freedom would cause them to dislike me. Probably bad. No, that's actually really good advice. I learned this one too. It's like, don't brag about how awesome your life is outside of work. Don't brag how you don't need the money. It's just because people who want that, it's not good. And so I got this in the military once where I had that, and it was I found out that was the reason I didn't get that advanced promotion. It's because the guy that I had as my boss at the time, he was one of those guys that they gave a pity promotion. 27 years in, they gave him his Master Seaman's. And once he started seeing this, he actively blocked and lost paperwork to make it. And I found out later, like years later, and I was like, that fucking guy. So yeah, don't brag about how great your life is, especially if you're at an office, because there's always somebody who's going to be jealous of it. They wish they had it, and then exert the smallest bit of power they have, and you never see it coming. You never see it coming because they don't talk about it. Unless they're really fucking stupid and then brag about it, but yeah. I got offered $93,000 to re-enlist, tax-free. No amount of money is worth your time and mental health. Well, I mean, some amount of money. Zuckerberg seems pretty happy with his $1 billion golden handcuffs. Just saying. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. Jack's hosting Rule 0. I might make this one. We'll see what happens. And in the meantime, I just realized I haven't shown any ads, really. Let's do a book one, and then I'll make fun of somebody. I don't know who yet.
Single moms. A horrible position that's not my problem.
Oh, I know. Good one. And we'll end off this.
Name a bigger red flag than a white guy with a podcast. I'll wait.
I am not impressed. I will have you know, I'm like 80% white. The podcast is goddamn good, and I don't want you anyway. You got random Iroquois art and not art on your walls. You're not my type, sir. Or madam. I don't know, you're allowed to say any more?
All right, Dre wants the Tekken one, so I'll know the Tekken one.
If you're sitting there going, oh, my wife's a 3, I play Tekken for pennies, my name's Ryan Stone, your life sucks. So he actually nailed it. Don't start something you work for to finish.
Don't start something you work for to finish.
If you want Have a little bit of faith. My name's Ryan Stone. I play Tekken for pennies. Chill a little bit and just go, you know what? Tate's got it.
79T, 2458, Learning Corp, Little Red Riding Hood, take 1.